Once upon a time, there was a big
Clarence,
bad
beware, thou keepest me from the light.
All I kept saying to everybody was I want to go home.
That's not how it is.
I can't look at everything hard enough.
Think of what that does to a man.
Hi, welcome to 23 Miles South presents Voices, a kaleidoscope of dramatic performances. This will be the first of our quarantine programs. We're planning a few others as the time goes by. Tonight, we'll be doing a variety of monologues from Shakespeare to contemporary, from comedy to drama, and we hope that you will enjoy them. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Kathy Diamond, and tonight I'll be performing Amanda's monologue from The Glass Menagerie. Deception! Deception! I stopped off at Rubicane's Business College today to talk to your teachers about you having a cold and to see what progress they thought you were making down there. I went over to your typing instructor and introduced myself as your mother. She didn't know who you were. Wingfield, she said. We don't have any such student enrolled at the school. I assured her she did, that you'd been going to classes since early in January. I wonder, she said, if you could be talking about that terribly shy little girl who dropped out of school after only a few days' attendance. No, I said. Laura, my daughter, has been going to classes every day for the past 6 weeks. Excuse me, she said. She took out her attendance book, and there was your name, unmistakably printed, and all the dates you had been absent until they decided you had dropped out of school. Still, I said, no, there must have been some mistake. There must have been some mix-up in the records. And she said, no, I remember her perfectly now. Her hand shook so she couldn't strike the keys. The first time we gave a speed test, she broke down completely, was sick at the stomach, and almost had to be carried out to the washroom. After that morning, she never came back to school. We tried phoning the house, but never got any answer. I felt so weak I could barely keep my feet. I had to sit down while they got me a glass of water. $50 tuition. All of our plans, my hopes and ambitions for you just gone up the spout, just gone up the spout like that. So what are we going to do with the rest of our lives? Stay at home and watch the parades go by? Amuse ourselves with the Glass Menagerie, darling? Eternally play those worn-out phonograph records your father left for us as a painful reminder of him? Oh, we won't have a business career. It gives us nervous indigestion. Oh, what is there left but dependency all our lives? I know so well what becomes of unmarried women who aren't prepared to occupy a position. I've seen such pitiful cases in the South. Barely tolerated spinsters living upon the grudging patronage of sister's husband or brother's wife, stuck away in some little mousetrap of a room, encouraged by one in-law to go visit another. Little bird-like women without any nest, eating the crust of humility all their life. Is that the future we mapped out for ourselves? Oh, I swear it's the only alternative I can think of. It isn't a very pleasant alternative, is it?
Hi, my name is Suzanne Noonan, and I'm going to be performing Crazy Glue by Joseph Arnon. Allison, oh God, it's me, Linda. I glued my hand to my cheek. I'm walking around the house trying every kind of product I can to get it off, and nothing will work. I've crazy glued myself to myself. Well, I was fixing the chair my Aunt Fran sat in. You know, the one she broke with her fat ass? The wooden one. My grandmother gave me that chair, so I decided to fix it. The wood glue didn't seem to be working, so I crazy glued it. Well, I was lying down underneath the chair, gluing the entire bottom half of the seat because I noticed cracks, these small cracks, and I figured, why not cover the whole bottom with glue so it'll be stronger and last longer, but then the chair came apart and the seat landed on my cheek, and I put my hand in front of my face to protect myself, and my hand got stuck to my cheek. It all happened so fast. What am I gonna do? I'm walking around the house like a complete ass, and I have tried everything. I've tried soap, detergent, nail polish remover, Windex, Febreze, vodka, toilet bowl cleaner, Pine Sol, and Pledge. God knows what else. And my face, it looks swollen. Every time I try to pull my hand off, my cheek hurts it hurts way too much. Like the skin wants to come off. My eye is burning and it keeps tearing, and I may go blind now because I'm beginning to see blurry, so I'm walking around my house with one eye and one arm. Allison? Allison? Hello? Allison? You're laughing! Are you laughing at me? You're laughing. You bitch. My hand is stuck to my cheek and I'm going blind, and you're laughing. I know. This is actually kind of funny, but I want to laugh later, not now. Right now, I need to get my hand off my cheek. I'm so afraid I'm going to have a permanent handprint on my face, like I've been bitch slapped for life. Please? I can't go out in public like this, and I'm too embarrassed to call the hardware store and ask for some help. Can you call for me? Or come over? Please, I'm losing circulation in my arm. Will you come? Yes? Oh, thank heavens. Allison, please hurry. I'm feeling a bit faint.
Hi, my name's Kelly Gage, and I will be performing Super Sitter by Ken Bradbury. Jimmy, I'm going to count to 3, and your tail better be in this bed, or I'm going to throw Teddy out the window. Teddy, I'm kidding. Stop whining. 1, 2, Jimmy, I mean it. 3. What? You're waiting for me to throw him out the window? Teddy, stop crying. I'm not going to throw you out the window. Jimmy, get in here, or there'll be no story time. That's better. Now scooch in there next to Teddy. Teddy, you have to move over. It's his bed too. Boys, I've already got the girls to bed. They're good little girls. Why can't you be good little girls? No, Jimmy, I don't want you to explain it. Okay, here's a story my mommy used to always read to me. Once upon a time, there were 3 little pigs and... Jimmy, there's something moving under your covers. Jimmy, catch that hamster right now. What? Then if you won't, I will. Oh, Teddy, I'm so sorry. That was your foot? It really looked like a hamster. It really... Ah! There it is. Catch it, Jimmy. Catch it. No, don't give it to me. Throw it down the... Oh, here. Easy. Just give him to me slowly. Not that slowly, Jimmy. Give him, Jimmy. Have you ever been microwaved? Wanna try? Now where'd that rat go? Yes, it is a rat as far as I'm concerned. Look, boys, just get back in bed. I'll find the hamster later, somehow. Okay, the three little pigs were walking along one day when, yes, Teddy, the wolf loses. I don't know. He always loses. Name me a story where the wolf wins. Wolves always lose. It's a law. The wolf loser law. Now lie back down and I'll 3. Because there's always 3 pigs. They aren't ganging up on him. Pigs are smaller than wolves. They're not? Look, encyclopedias aren't always right. Teddy, look up a little boy sometime, and you'll see a picture of a nice, sweet, well-behaved little child. And then look at your brother Jimmy. See? Encyclopedias lie. Yes, they do. Sometimes parents lie too. They told me you'd be no trouble. So the 3 little pigs went along and built their houses. I know they can't build a stupid house, but it's a stupid fairy tale and I'm stupid for taking this babysitting job in the first place. Okay, who wants a warm glass of milk? Lactose what? Good, maybe I should give Jimmy a whole glass. No, girls, I'm not shouting. I'm telling a story. Now go back to... Well, now there's 5 of us. Okay. Girls, don't sit on Teddy. Sit on Jimmy. Okay, just this one story. Once upon a time, there was a big bad wolf who ate hamsters and... Shh! Shush! Stop screaming! Okay, I'm sorry I said that. Why is Hannah still screaming? You said what? And you did what? Jimmy, get that hamster out of your sister's pajama this instant! Jimmy, it's crawling up her back and she's getting very upset. Hannah, don't hit. Oh, go ahead. Whack him a good one. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Eric Lauren, and this is Benny Hill's The Birds and the Bees. Well, I'd reached the age of 14, and I hadn't started courting, and me mum was getting worried about me. She said, Dad, it's time you told him all about the birds and bees. The birds and bees, he said, and he sat me on his knee. Now, remember Uncle Joe, and that picnic a while ago, how he ran off in the woods with Auntie Pat, and how I chased O'Reilly's daughter, and what happened when I caught her? I said, yeah. He said, well, birds and bees does that. Dad works very hard indeed. Well, he's got 10 kids to feed. Well, 10 7/9 to be precise. And we all wear hand-me-downs, as I'm the youngest and the others are all girls. It ain't very nice. Dad said, it's time that you got wed. I said, I'd rather drop down dead. Well, how about old Maud from Ikeley Down? I said, Maud? Not bloody likely. She's been out with half the chaps in Ikeley. He said, well, Ikeley's really quite the little town. Son, you've got to get a wife. You can't go on enjoying life, or other folks will think you're strange and start to frown. I said, look, why should I buy a book when there's a thriving lending library in the town? One day I found a friend. He was up by Badger's End. A little pigeon fell down right by my feet. His feathers was flecked with red, and at first I thought he was dead, but then I knelt and I felt his little heart still beat. Well, I cupped him in my hands, and I ran home to me mam, and she said, son, I'm as proud of you as I can be. You're thoughtful and you're kind, and you've got a gentle mind, and that'll do a treat for your old father's tea. I said, you shall not touch my bird, and without another word, I ran up to my room and shut the door. And then I bathed him, and I warmed him, and I nursed him back to health, for you see, I'd never really had a friend before. I taught him little tricks, like playing dead and picking up sticks. And the village girls brought birdseed every day. Oh. Well, let's see. There was Mabel from the stable, and Mary from the dairy. We even had a visit from a beauty queen. And great big Betty Mavery, well, she's got her own aviary. She's got the biggest parakeets I've ever seen. Dad said, you ought to let him go. But Mum, she said, oh no, you just want to get your shooting practice in. But the vicar said, my son, it really isn't done. And to lock up a wild thing, well, that's a sin. One morning, when it was all still, I took him up to Badger's Hill. I lost the only friend I had that day. Not a word I said, I just kissed his little head. I opened my arms and watched him fly away. He flew up and round, and then he settled on the ground, and then he shot off straight into the sky. And I looked, and I could see he was flying back to me. And then he swooped, and he pooped right in my eye. Oh, that's bloody rude, and there's gratitude. I hope they never cross a pigeon with a cow. Then Dad said, "Oi, there's a caper. I'll go fetch a bit of paper." I said, "Don't be daft. He's miles away by now." Dad said, "Look, I know you've lost a friend, but it's really not the end. You'll be married and have a family of your own quite soon." Well, I never said a word, but you see, that little bird lured 18 little ravens up to my room. So if anyone's got a spare cockatoo or old crow you don't want, I'd be very much obliged, because you know I could put them to good use.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Mahoney. I will be doing Forever on Hold from the play When Mel Fell from Now by D.M. Larson. Doesn't it always seem that we're on hold? We are constantly calling about this or that. We are slaves to the phone, waiting anxiously for a human voice. Companies try to make your experience more pleasant by playing music. One company I called even had its own radio station dedicated to entertaining people on hold. My question is, why not make that person answer phones too? There are probably more people working on message systems that put people on hold than there are actually answering phones. I especially hate the ones that make you feel like you're getting somewhere when you actually aren't. They come up with all these phrases to keep you interested. Only a few minutes more. Ring, ring. You have just advanced in our waiting order. Beep. Hello. You are the next caller. Do not hang up. We will be with you in a moment. After 10 more minutes. We will be with you in a moment. You are the next caller. The most aggravating award goes to the electronic maze of number choices. Press 1 if you need customer assistance. Press 2 if you need customer information. Press 3 if you need customer guidance. Press 4 for more options. You wait endlessly through this maze of choices, only to discover you still have to wait an hour to talk to a human. Then there's the notorious dead line. You wonder, did they hang up? Is someone waiting for you to speak? Did they transfer your call to Albania? You wait, unsure what to do. When you finally get to talk to someone, you discover it's not even the right department. They have no clue what you're talking about and transfer you to someone who's equally as clueless. While you are waiting, they ask you to type in your account number, your zip code, your date of birth. And then when you actually get to talk to a human, they ask you for this information all over again. So why did I just type all this information in? When talking to a human, we know why it takes so long. They ask you a million useless questions. They find out your question, and then they transfer you to someone who goes through the same things, only to discover they have no clue how to help you either. Finally, someone helps you, and you end up receiving a 6-month subscription to Dog's Life magazine. Well, at least you got something for your troubles. But wasn't that call supposed to be to your credit card company?
Hi, I'm Maddie, and I'm doing Dorothy's monologue from Wizard of Oz. But it wasn't a dream. It was a place. And you, and you, and you, and you were there. But you couldn't have been. Could you? No, Aunt Em. This was a real, truly live place. And I remember some of it wasn't very nice, but most of it was beautiful, but just the same. All I kept saying to everybody was, I want to go home. And then they sent me home. Doesn't anybody believe me? But anyway, Toto, we're home. Home. And this is my room. And you're all here. And I'm not going to leave here ever, ever again. Because I love you all. And oh, Auntie Em, there's no place like home.
Hi, I'm Rich Pineski, and I'll be performing Lofgren from Harvey. Listen, lady, I've been driving this route 15 years. I've brought them out here to get that stuff and drove them back after they had it. It changes them. I ain't kidding. On the way out, they sit back and enjoy the ride. They talk to me. Sometimes we stop and watch the birds when there ain't no birds and look at the sunsets when it's raining. We have a swell time and I always get a big tip. But afterwards, they crab. They tell me to watch the lights, watch the brakes, watch the intersections. They scream at me to hurry. They got no faith in me or my buggy. Yet it's the same cab, the same driver, and we're going back by the same roads we came. It's no fun and no tips. Lady, after this, he'll be a perfectly normal human being. You know what bastards they are.
Matt, this is kind of really hard for me to say, but we've been going steady for almost 5 months now, okay? How many? Okay, 4. Like I was saying, we've been going steady for almost 4 months now, and you're a nice guy, and I really like you a lot, okay? Yeah, sure, I know you like me too. I know that, but let me finish. Like we've been seeing each other and nobody else all this time. We're always together, always. What I mean is, what I'm trying to say is that maybe we've been tying ourselves down too much for our age, and that it isn't fair for someone like you, who's real cute and would probably like to date other girls, to just be obligated to one person, What I'm trying to say is that maybe we should think about not going steady anymore. Now I know what you're gonna say, okay? What? It's okay with you? Just like that, it's okay with you? Wow. Okay, I get it. Catherine Anderson, right? No, don't give me that. Here, I just kind of hint that maybe we shouldn't see each other that much, and right away you want to break it off? You do too. You just said so. It's that easy for you. And just after 3 months too, just like that. Okay, 4. I don't believe this. Don't try to smooth it out. Don't. No. What? You really like me that much? Stop, you're just saying that. Do you really? No way. Of course I like you too. Break up? Who said anything about breaking up? All I was saying is that if maybe you felt tied down, I was just giving you a way out, I was thinking of you, that's all. Sure, I want to keep going steady. You kidding? Me too. Meet you later, like always? Good. And about Kathy Anderson, my father says that everything she owns is on paper. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Isabel Pogue, and I will be doing a monologue from Fun Home the Musical. Dear Al, big week at Fun Home. Couple of kids from Lock Haven wrapped their car around a tree, and I ended up working 2 18-hour shifts. Bad for my blood pressure. Anyways, that's why I've been out of touch for a bit. Oh, by the way, we got your letter. Well, kid, talk about a flair for the dramatic. As far as I see it, the good news is you're human. What's that supposed to mean? What else would I be? Your mother's pretty upset. Not surprising, I guess. But I'm of the opinion that everyone should experiment. Seriously? I can't say, though, that I see the value of putting a label on yourself. There have been a few times in my life when I've thought about taking a stand, but I'm not a hero. Is that a cop-out?
Maybe so. It's hard sometimes to tell what is really worth it. God, the tone is what I can't stand. It's so typical, so all-knowing. He has to be the expert. Lots of advice and wisdom on things he knows nothing about. I'm gay, and which means I'm not like him, and I've never been like him, and he can't handle that. He still wants to be this intellectual, liberal, broad-minded bohemian, but he can't pull it off. 'Cause he can't deal with me. And you know what? He never could. He never could. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Michael Coker, and I'll be doing Gloucester from Henry VI, Part 3. What? Will the aspiring blood of Lancaster sink in the ground? I thought it would have mounted. See how my sword weeps for the poor king's death. Oh, may such purple tears be always shed from those that wish the downfall of our house, if any spark of life be yet remaining. Down, down to hell, and say I sent thee thither. I, that have neither pity, love, nor fear. Indeed, 'tis true that Henry told me of, for I have often heard my mother say I came into the world with my legs forward. Well, had I not reason, think ye, to make haste and seek their ruin that usurped our right? The midwife wondered, and the women cried, O Jesus, bless us, he is born with teeth. And so I was, which plainly signified that I should snarl and bite and play the dog. Then since the heavens have shaped my body so, let hell make crooked my mind to answer it. I have no brother. I am like no brother. And this word love, which greybeards call divine, be resident in men like one another, and not in me. I am myself alone. Clarence, beware thou keepest me from the light, but I will sort a pitchy day for thee, for I will buzz abroad such prophecies that Edward shall be fearful for his life, and then to purge his fear, I'll be thy death. King Henry and his son, the prince, are gone. Clarence, thy turn is next, and the rest, counting myself but bad till I be best. I'll throw thy body in another room, and triumph, Henry, in thy day of doom.
Hi, I'm Bob Colton, and I'll be doing a monologue from Pygmalion by George Bernard Shaw. I'll be playing the character of Mr. Doolittle. For you, My Fair Lady fans, that would be Eliza's dad. Don't say that, Governor. Don't look at it that way. What am I? Governors both. I ask you, what am I? I'm one of the undeserving poor. Think of what that does to a man. It means he's up against middle-class morality all the time. If there's anything going and I want a bit of it, it's the same story. You're undeserving, so you can't have it. But my needs is as great as the most deserving widow without ever got money out of 6 different charities in the same week for the death of the same husband. I don't need less than a deserving man. I need more. I don't eat any less hearty than him, and I drink a lot more. I need a bit of amusement because I'm a thinking man. I want cheerfulness in a song and a band when I feel low, where they charge me just the same for anything as they charge the deserving. What is middle-class morality? Just an excuse for never giving me anything. Therefore, I ask you as 2 gentlemen not to play that game on me. I'm playing straight with you. I'm not pretending to be deserving. I'm undeserving, and I mean to go on being undeserving. Would you take advantage of a man's nature out of the price of his own daughter, which he's brought up and fed and clothed by the sweat of his own brow, until she's grown up big enough to be interesting to you 2 gentlemen? Is £5 unreasonable? I put it to you, and I leave it to you.
How do you call heaven? Whore? Whore! It is a whore! Mock her! Oh, now she'll suck a scream to stab me with. I have known her, sir. I have known her in the proper place, where my beasts are bedded. On the last night of my choice, some 8 months past. She used to serve me in my house, sir. A man may think that God sleeps, but God sees everything. I know that now. I beg you, sir, I beg you, see her for what she is. My wife, my dear good wife, took this girl soon after, sir, and put her out on the high road, and being what she is, a lump of vanity, she thinks to dance with me on my wife's grave, and well she might, for there is such a promise and such sweat. Oh, God help me, I lusted, and there is a promise in such sweat. But this is a whore's vengeance, and you must see it. I set myself entirely in your hands. I know you must see it now. I have made a bell of my honor. I have run down the doom of my good name. You will believe me, Mr. Danforth. Oh, my wife is innocent, except that she knew a whore when she saw one.
Hello, my name is Peggy Gannon, and this is my husband, Jack Gannon. We're going to do a scene from the play The Tin Woman. It's about a husband and wife who've lost their 36-year-old son in a car accident, and his heart has been donated to a young woman. We're talking about whether we want to meet with the young woman who was the heart recipient.
I could have driven home just fine.
You'll forgive me if I'm a little nervous these days about driving.
Now my car's going to sit there all night.
We can pick it up in the morning.
This is cool as your car gets. I think it needs new Freon.
Gosh, that's what I thought.
What's she like?
What's who like?
Cut it out. You know who I mean.
Oh, you remembered that.
So what's she like?
She seems very nice.
I don't see the point of this.
Oh, you don't?
No, I don't. Why do we have to meet her? She said thank you. We said you're welcome. Now go and sin no more. What's the point of going through everything? Leave it alone, right?
We're here now. Are you coming in?
I don't know.
Dinner is ready now.
I'm not hungry.
Well, what am I supposed to tell her?
This is your jamboree. You tell her whatever you want.
What?
I didn't want this. You did. Everyone has to poke and go through things. We're doing just fine.
Oh, sure. We're doing just fine. I lose my son 8 months ago, and I think it's the worst thing that I've ever had to live through. I have to see my little boy. I have to see him all dressed up and laid out there. And I have to stand next to his coffin and watch them put him in the ground. And then I think that's the worst thing. And then there's you, snapping at everything I've said for the last 8 months that anyone has said, and complaining about every damn thing, and drinking at all hours of the day.
I am not drinking.
And I don't care about that. I do not care. I do care that I should be able to be at home in my house with my husband and talk about this. The one person in the world that I should be able to talk to, and I can't. And that's the worst right there.
That's not how it is.
It is, it sure is. And I'm here to tell you, there are other people in the world besides you, and I'm one of them. This didn't just happen to you. Now, you can stay here or go get drunk or go to hell. But I'm going in there, and I'm going to share a meal with the last little piece of our son that I have left. And I'm going to try to find something good in all of this. I'm going to try to find something good.
Wait.
What? Oh!
Just wait.
No, I won't wait. I've waited enough. Now you do whatever you're going to do. But maybe you might just want to think for 1 second about what Jack would want you to do.
I'm not as... Why the hell can't you just wait?
Because I have waited, and I'm tired of waiting. And I'm tired of arguing with you about every little thing. And I'm sitting in a car with no air conditioning, and I'm pretty sure that Sammy did not check on the beans.
Hello, my name is Josephine Pogue, and I'll be performing the monologue Margaret Fuller Slack from the Spoon River Anthologies by Edgar Lee Masters, a Southern Illinois author. I could have been as great as George Eliot, but for an untoward fate. For just look at the portrait of me made by Pennywit. Chin in hand, deep-set eyes, gray too and far searching. But there was the old problem. Should it be celibacy, matrimony, or unchastity? Then John Slack, the rich druggist, wooed me, luring me with promises of leisure time for my novel. And I married him, giving birth to 8 children. I had no time to write. It was all over for me anyhow when I ran a needle through my hand while washing the baby's things and died of lockjaw. An ironical fate. Hear me, O ambitious souls. Sex is the curse of life.
My name is Jack Gannon, and I'm going to be doing the stage manager's monologue from Act 3 of Our Town, in which he reflects on people's lives and their passing. It's on a hilltop, windy hilltop. Lots of sky, lots of clouds, often lots of sun and moon and stars. You come up here on a fine afternoon and you'll see range upon range of hills. Awful blue they are, up by Lake Sunapee and Lake Winnipesaukee. And way up, if you've got a glass, you'll see the White Mountains, Mount Washington, or Conway and North Conway. And our favorite mountain, of course, Mount Monadnock, is right here. And all the towns that lie around it. Jaffrey and East Jaffrey and Petersboro and Dublin. And there, down quite a way, Grover's Corner. Yes, it's beautiful spot, mountain laurel and lilacs. I often wonder why people like to be buried in Woodlawn or Brooklyn when they might pass the same time up here in New Hampshire. But over there are the old stones, 1670, 1680. Strong-minded people came a long way to be independent. Summer people walk through there and laugh at the funny words on the tombstone. It don't do any harm. And genealogists come up from Boston, get paid by city folks to look up their ancestors. They want to make sure they're daughters of the American Revolution or the Mayflower. I guess that don't do any harm either. But whenever you come anywhere near the human race, layer upon layer of nonsense. Over there are some Civil War veterans, New Hampshire boys, who had the notion that the Union ought to be kept together even though they had never seen more than 50 miles of it themselves. All they knew was the name, friends. United States of America. United States of America. They went and died for it. Now this here is the new part of the cemetery. There's your friend, Mrs. Gibbs, and let me see, Mr. Stimson, who was the organist, Congregational Church, and Mrs. Soames, she who so enjoyed the wedding, if you remember. Yes, and a lot of others. Editor Wallace's boy. His appendix burst on a Boy Scout trip to North Conway. Yes, an awful lot of sorrow is kind of quieted down up here. People just wild with grief have brought their loved ones up to this hill. We all know how it is. But then time, sunny days, rainy days, and snow. We're just all glad they've got a beautiful place to come to. And we're all coming here ourselves when our fit is over. There are some things that we all know, but we don't take them out and look at them very often. We all know that something is eternal. And it ain't homes, and it ain't names, and it ain't the earth. It ain't even the stars. But we all know that something is eternal. And that something has to do with human beings. Greatest people who have ever lived have been telling us that for 5,000 years. But you'd be surprised how many people are always losing hold of it. There is something way down deep in every human being that's eternal. Now, you know as well as I do, the dead don't stay interested in us living people very often, very long. Gradually, they lose hold of the earth and the ambitions they had and the pleasures, and the things they suffered and the people they loved. They get weaned away from the church. That's what I call it, weaned away. And they stay here while the earth part of them burns away, burns off. All that time, they slowly become indifferent to what's happening in Grover's Corners. They're waiting. They're waiting for something they think is coming, something important, great. Aren't they just waiting for the eternal part of them to come out clear? Now, some of the things that they're going to say might hurt your feelings, but that's just the way it goes. Mother, daughter, husband and wife, enemy and enemy, miser and money, all those terribly important things kind of grow pale up here. After all, what's left when memory is gone? And your identity, Mrs. Smith.
My name is Amy Pineski, and I'll be doing Emily Webb's Goodbye monologue from Our Town. I can't bear it. They're so young and beautiful. Why did they ever have to get old? Mama, I'm here. I'm grown up. I love you all. Everything. I can't look at everything hard enough. Oh, Mama, look at me one moment as though you really saw me. Mama, 14 years have gone by. I'm dead. You're a grandmother, Mama. I married George Gibbs. Wally's dead, too. Oh, Mama, his appendix burst on a camping trip to North Conway. We felt just terrible about it, don't you remember? But now, just for a moment, we're all together. Mama, just for a moment, we're happy. Let's look at one another. I can't go on. It goes so fast. We don't have time to look at one another. So all that was going on, and I never realized. Take me back up the hill to my grave. But first, wait. One more look. Goodbye. Goodbye, world. Goodbye, Grover's Corners. Mama and Papa. Goodbye to clocks ticking and Mama's sunflowers and new iron dresses and hot baths and food and coffee and sleeping and waking up. Oh, Earth, you're too wonderful for anybody to realize you. Do any human beings ever realize life while they live it? Every minute? I'm ready to go back.